Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got my fingers crossed that my brain and my mouth are going to work today. And we got a busy show. It is a little hump day action out here. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot going on. Tigers got a big game, man. So we're going to talk a little Memphis Tiger action. Plus, we also got to talk about, speaking of college basketball, how did your bet do?
How did your bet do, John?
I'd bet Kentucky and Baylor won and covered.
The what?
Kentucky and Baylor won and covered.
You had Texas A&M yesterday and Kentucky.
Oh, man. That's well, I ended up betting on Baylor when I got home and got on my app.
Don't come after me, John.
I'm not mad at you or nothing. Hey, I give out missing picks. In fact, I think did Texas A&M get there?
They did not.
I didn't think so.
That's why I responded the way I did. I knew we agreed
bad
on Kentucky, and then you had Texas A&M and I had Georgia Tech. No, Georgia Tech, they're a young team, and they had some really bad possessions late in the game when they got pressed. Towards the end of the game when they were trailing, they were just throwing up shots. And if they had just settled down and ran the offense that they were running earlier in the game, I think they would have won that game and covered. But they just got so – I mean, when that 2-minute mark happened, they got so nervous because they were down by about 4 and just started chunking up shots. They ended up forcing overtime. And then basically same thing in overtime, which overtime 5 minutes is a really long time. They were just forcing shots. It was weird to see. But Notre Dame's playing better. Notre Dame has not played like that this year.
They made it to overtime.
They did. That's right. And Notre Dame has not been a good team this year, but looked better against Duke in the game before this one. I thought looked really good against Georgia Tech. I think both these teams. Micah Shrewsbury is now the head coach at Notre Dame. Obviously, still trying to get his guys together over there, having to flip that roster. Same thing, Georgia Tech. Damon Stoudemire in there in his first year. I think they're going to be two fun teams to watch the rest of the year, John.
I think you're 100% right. In a night last night, which was weird, really weird in college basketball, you had Houston lost to Iowa State.
That's right.
Purdue got absolutely bully whipped by the Nebraska Cornhuskers,
yeah,
man.
Right. Nebraska could be a tournament team this year. They're a fun team to watch as well.
I have not seen Nebraska at all, really, paid much attention to them, period. But I've been paying attention to Purdue, and the fact that they got drummed, it's pretty interesting. So last night was an interesting night in college basketball. Tonight we got a little Tiger action. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We also have to talk some NBA. Still hadn't figured out how this happened. That's why they play the games. And I'm just going to be straight with you. I only played a couple little small bets yesterday. Somehow between the time I got off air yesterday and when I was scrambling to put in my bets around 5:30, I ended up taking Baylor over the A&M pick.
Well, that was a good pick by you.
It was. I got very lucky.
Baylor
and I'm trying to figure
really
out. And I honestly thought I said Baylor on the air. Again, I told you my brain wasn't working.
Cause,
when it wasn't working yesterday, it worked in my favor for at least my betting.
Yeah, no, it sure did. Because, John, I couldn't remember what your second play was. I knew we both agreed on Kentucky, and I couldn't remember what your second one was. And so I went back and listened, and, yeah, you had A&M.
Yeah, I was thinking that they were eventually going to get off. I mean, this is a team that was supposed to have the SEC Player of the Year, hadn't done jack, so.
Auburn's a good team, though.
Auburn is very, very good.
Yeah.
They've beaten the tar out of a few people. But, college basketball is a little wild. We're going to talk about that. And then I'm not going to – and, again, this is why I was saying I'm not going to sit here and pretend. So I only placed a couple little bitty bets yesterday and did the whole boyfriend thing.
No, good for you, John.
You know, since the new year has gotten here,
Fiance
thing. Thank you very much for correcting me. I've been, immersed in what I would call self in sports. Like I have every single like all day from the first. Bam, it's nothing but sports. The NFL's been going crazy. You know, I've been consumed. I have not taken her to dinner in the new year. So last night I did the whole dinner thing. Came home, watched TV that she wanted to watch. She actually did a great job.
What did we watch last night, John?
You won't believe this, and and this is just proof. I'm proof that I'm turning into my grandparents. I'm old, y'all, because she put on Cheers on the Hulu.
Oh, John, I love Cheers.
Have you watched it?
Yes, I've watched Cheers.
Man, that was on when I was a kid, man. I remember Woody. I remember that actually being on TV.
Cheers.
But when you're a kid, you don't want to watch no TV. You're out running the neighborhood, tearing things up. But I love the fact, like, there's no cell phones in there. The humor stuff you couldn't even get away with today on TV. It is so misogynistic and sexualized. I love every bit of it. It is a hilarious show. The writers are great. But anyway, so that's what I did. And then, when, of course, Chas goes to bed and I have to sneak back out and turn on the ESPN and Fox Sports and all that good stuff, the NFL Network, whatever I'm flipping through. I see the Grizzlies won, and I'm sorry, I didn't get to see. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? On the day that everybody and their grandmother finds out that Ja's done for the season, the day that basically everybody finds out like the Grizzlies are screwed, they go out there and beat the Mavs by 17 points. Desmond Bane was insane, man. 32-9. I mean, what did you watched it? I hope
I did watch it, John.
Thank
yes,
God, because now I can have You have to explain to me how the Grizzlies, who scored only 17 points in the fourth quarter, still held on to win by 17 points.
Yeah, John. And this is all only just kind of word of mouth because I don't know if I told anybody this. I might have told Johnny yesterday afternoon. I certainly didn't bet it because I dozed off on the couch for like 20 minutes, and the game had already started by the time I woke up. But I just had this feeling, John, yesterday that the the Grizzlies were going to come out last night and maybe get a win over the Dallas Mavericks, or at least cover that spread. I think it was pretty big by the time that game started. But yeah, I mean the Mavericks came out and really punched the Grizzlies in the mouth. We're up 5-0, like just like that when the game started. And then the Grizzlies just kind of started chipping away. But really, Dallas controlled most of the early part of that first quarter. But then the Grizzlies came out of nowhere, took a lead, and then, John, I remember a couple weeks ago, especially when Ja Morant was out at the beginning of the season, but we were also seeing it a little bit in that Toronto game, where the Grizzlies have had a bad stretch of games where really in the second quarter and the third quarter, kind of ending that first half and coming out of the break in the third quarter, they really struggle. And I remember, I don't remember if it was on the TV broadcast or the radio broadcast, but they pointed out against Toronto that the Grizzlies had to call a timeout like 20 seconds into the third quarter, and that had been kind of a common occurrence, is that this team comes out slow.
Very slow.
And that really, you go back and look at the second and third quarters, and that's really where the Grizzlies gotten beat. But that was kind of the opposite. Yesterday, the Grizzlies win the first three quarters, 39 points in the second quarter, 35 points in the third quarter. Desmond Bane was unbelievable last night. And a lot of people after that game saying he deserves to be an NBA All-Star.
Zach Boyd yesterday said one thing you can guarantee, Desmond Bane's going to to go off. I am very upset that I didn't take his over totals yesterday.
You should have. I think he finished with like 35. But yeah, and then it kind of got tricky towards the end, but really, I mean, the Grizzlies put themselves in such a position last night that towards the end of that game, they were able to get guys minutes that aren't playing. I think, Jake LaRavia got a couple minutes, Gigi Jackson got a couple minutes, but really in that fourth quarter, you saw, Conchar out there for a lot of minutes, David Roddy out there for a lot of minutes, Tillman out there, Zaire, you saw this bench group out there because the Grizzlies had such a large win.
I'm looking at the box score, and I'm thinking to myself, if X-Man, Zaire, Big Body Roddy, and John Conchar
all got
over 25 minutes, all four of them played over 25 minutes, there should be no damn way that the Grizzlies get the dub when Kyrie and Luka both played last night.
And they were all in the plus 11, plus 12, plus 17, and plus 18. That's incredible.
That's why they play the game, man. And by the way, this is crazy because, again, we were talking about yesterday, well, the Grizzlies season's over. And you know what? Eventually, it's the NBA. Again, anybody can win on any given night, but it does usually talent prevails.
Yeah.
And Grizzlies right now are without a lot of talent. Everybody's injured. More people are going down. They're going to need some more guards, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But like they've gone on the road and have a 3-game winning streak on the freaking road.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is that?
And they're now over 500 on the road. They're 11-10 now in road games.
Did they win 17 games last year on the road?
That's a good question, John. I don't know.
I mean, I think they won maybe 16 to 18 games on the road last year.
They weren't great on the road.
And they're getting close to doing that because they won 35. They were 35-6 last year at home.
Yeah.
I don't know what the road record is. I don't know what the total wins numbers is. I could figure it out, but I'm not going to do math right here, especially as slow as my brain's been working.
It's probably a good idea, John.
So probably a really good idea. But yeah, the Grizzlies, we thought were over. We think it's done. Eventually, talent will, I think, win out, and they're still going to be in trouble. But damn, I just can't believe it. I'm saying this. They just 2 nights in a row without John Morant.
Well,
2 games in a row. The Suns on the road and the Mavs on the road, and they come back with wins. And of course, they clipped the Lakers in a comeback win in the fourth quarter. Shoot, I can't remember when that was. It feels so long ago.
Well, and John, one thing to keep an eye on, and maybe I know they said they were going to have to reevaluate it, or he was going to get examined maybe today, and I didn't see if we got an update later last night after the game. But Marcus Smart did leave the game.
Dislocated his finger.
Dislocated the finger. It was very weird because he knocks down a 3 and then kind of immediately asked to be taken out.
I thought he did it while he was celebrating because this is stuff I was reading on Twitter.
Like,
this is off the X is where I got my information.
That's what it looked like, John. But he didn't hit anything or so unless he just the force of him throwing his hand around or something
Dude's
like that.
Dude's got some guns, bro.
I don't know, but
some force behind his forefathers.
Yeah, he played really well. 23 points for him, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals, and with a dislocated. I don't think he'll be out very long, if at all, for a dislocated finger. But definitely something to keep an eye on because Marcus Smart's been massive these last 3 games.
Massive, man. Guess who's coming to Memphis though, where the Grizzlies can't win, which is so weird. They can beat you on the road, 11-10 on the road. This year at home, they're 3-13, and guess who's coming to town?
The Timberwolves, John.
I thought it was the Clippers.
Oh, the Clippers, John. That's right. Excuse me.
Man, I was about to say.
I think it's the Timberwolves.
I thought I was wrong.
I think the Timberwolves are the next road game. No, you're right. It definitely is the Clippers. It's the Clippers, then the Knicks, then the Warriors, and then I think it's the. Then the next road game is the Timberwolves, John.
Yeah, but the Los Angeles Clippers. Remember how bad they were with James Harden when he first got there? They've been really good.
Yeah, now they're
7-3 in their last 10.
They played tonight against Toronto.
Well, that'll help. Give them a little.
That's
there's going to be one day in between, but they're going to have to come in from Toronto to Memphis.
No, they're at home. So.
Oh, they're at home. Well,
they're
going to have to fly across the country, man.
Further, yeah.
And there's an opportunity to get in a little bit more trouble after the game. They might want to do a little partying before the flight goes out because there's stuff to do in L.A. and they're coming to Memphis and they're the only thing I can do is eat pig.
We can go party on Bill.
You can. Man, I used to love that stomping ground back in the day.
Yeah.
It's not as now that I'm an old freaking fart, I'm just not down with Bill very much. I love going to FedEx Forum.
Of course. Who doesn't?
And it also just ain't bumping today like it was when I was younger. It's just back in the day, man. I'm telling you, late 90s, early 2000, it was bumping. Now, we talked a lot of Grizzlies just now. We'll see what goes on, so what happens with them. We'll keep you abreast of everything going on. But the main thing that's going on is football. Super duper wild card weekend is coming up. Weather is important. What teams are doing are extremely important. I'm about to break all that stuff down. 12 o'clock, I'm going to get really deep up in the wild card. Basically already looking at some angles, looking at weather, telling you who's going to play, who's not going to play, et cetera, because I'm already fired up. I love a few games early. Some people are trying to talk me off this Kansas City Chiefs game, telling me that I'm crazy, that the Dolphins' offense is so much better. But the Dolphins don't have anybody to play defense. And Pat Mahomes, I don't know if you know this, the dude basically goes to Super Bowls. He goes to at least the AFC Championship game every damn year. And you know what? He wins a hell of a lot of games at home, and he's pretty good. And I know that wide receiving core has been very poor, but let's not forget, one of the biggest problems of that wide receiving, basically the biggest problem with their wide receivers, Kadarius Toney, who's had a terrible year. He did play big in the postseason, and he did come up real big in the Super Bowl. Had a touchdown reception. He had that big punt return. I mean, I know Pat Mahomes is complaining, but you have now Rashee Rice, who's been playing a full season. He's been probably their best wide receiver. Justin Watson. I mean, again, these guys aren't all that good, but it's freaking Pat Mahomes. Isaiah Pacheco is running like a freaking maniac. He runs hard as anybody I've ever seen. And don't forget, they still have Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce. So I'm sorry. I still believe the Kansas City Chiefs are the play. But there were some interesting news and notes that I thought that came out yesterday. Did you see the Steelers? They are sticking with Mason Rudolph over a healthy Kenny Pickett.
How about that?
You know what that tells me, don't you?
Kenny Pickett's time is done in Pittsburgh.
And you know what? I hate to say this. It should be. Sorry, Kenny. My man Kenny Pickett has 713 attempts in the National Football League. My man Kenny Pickett has played in 25 games. How many touchdown passes do you think Kenny Pickett has? In 25 games.
Oh, John, so it's like 13.
It is exactly 13.
Let's go.
Oh, good job, bro.
Thank you.
How many interceptions does he have?
Way more than 13.
Nope, exactly 13.
Oh, is it really? Is it 13?
13 touchdowns,
Wow.
13 interceptions, complete 62% of his passes. His average pass down the field is 6.3 yards. It's not like the guy's pushing the ball down the field. You can't sit there and try to tell me that Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are terrible wide receivers. Do you know what Pat Mahomes would do with those wide receivers?
Yeah, he'd do a lot.
He'd do a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenny Pickett, your time is come and it's gone. And then also, TJ Watt is 100% out. I saw this stat and I almost fell over. Since 2017, in a game that TJ Watt did not start, he hadn't finished a few. He's got a few where he's, got really injured, like this year. What do you think the Steelers' record are without Watt since 2017, games that he does not start?
How many games is it? Can you give me that?
Man, since 2017, what is... So 6 years times 16 games, because we just went to 17. 60, what's 36, 96 games?
This is games without him or with him?
Without him. He's been a part of the Steelers for at least 96 football games.
Right. But you can't tell me how many games he hasn't played.
He started all of them but 11 games.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to say...
Oh, that's what you were saying.
Because you asked what his record is without him, and I wanted
my brain doesn't work,
I wanted to know how many games I was working with. I'll say the record is 2-9.
1-10. You were
Wow,
damn close.
I was close.
How the hell did you get so close?
I don't know. I mean, he's a great player. I got to think. And because you brought it up, I got to think they're pretty bad without him.
And the one that they just won was just last, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, without TJ Watt, Steelers heading to Buffalo, I don't think they have a chance. And I know that Josh Allen, and the one thing that if you want to stop the Buffalo Bills, how do you stop the Bills? You force them to turn the football over. That's exactly how you beat the Bills. If Josh Allen starts getting crazy turnovers, well, you need to capitalize on like the Miami Dolphins did last week. Amen. Thank you so much for not, ruining my gambling run that I was on. But yeah, I just feel like the Buffalo Bills minus the 10. I mean, the total is 36.5. Are the Steelers really going to go out there and score a bunch of points on Buffalo with Mason? I don't know.
I don't think so, John.
And if you don't have TJ Watt out there, how are you going to force Josh Allen into being turnover Allen? I don't think it's going to happen. Problem is, I like a bunch of favorites, man. Dallas minus 7.5 against Green Bay. My goodness. I mean, Aaron Jones is great. Jordan Love's played out of his mind. Those young wide receivers are interchangeable. Like, you got to give a lot of credit to Matt LaFleur. That offense is humming. But Green Bay's defense is terrible. Like, you think they're going to stop Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb?
No chance, John.
In Dallas?
No chance, John.
Child, please. Child, please. No, that ain't happening. But we're going to break down, of course, we still have the Browns and the Texans. You know, the Browns are the only road favorite in these playoffs.
Wow, are they really?
2.5-point favorite.
How about that?
Browns over the Texans at home with the young C.J. Stroud. You got the young buck and C.J. Stroud and the old man and Joe Flacco. Now that I'm an old man, I'm rooting for the old man.
I like it.
Doesn't mean I'm going to bet on him yet. I do have to say, though, man, but I mean, both. This is this is a tough game to pick.
Yeah.
We're going to break that down, though. We also got, again, of course, you know, the Rams and the Lions. I think that's a pretty fascinating game. Again, the emotional Matt Stafford going back to Detroit. The whole Freaky Friday, as my man Jake Crane named it, with Jared Goff facing his former team, the Rams.
I love it.
And Matt Stafford facing his former team in the Lions. And Matt Stafford playing his first playoff game in Detroit after spending 12 years there, but it's the first one he's ever played in Detroit, and he's playing for a different team. I think that's a great, I just love the storylines. I think it's going to be a really good game. Play action with the Lions, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, nastiness. And then on the other side, you got the gunslinger with Matt Stafford going out there throwing it to Puka Nacua, Cooper, Kupp. Like, this is going to be fun.
John, I have some breaking news. Some breaking NFL news, actually.
I love talking the NFL. It's the best damn league in the world.
How about this, John? Pat McAfee says that Aaron Rodgers will not appear as a guest on his show for the remainder of the NFL season.
Bro, he's getting paid 6 figures to go on that show.
Maybe not anymore, John.
Do you know that was the big scuttlebutt on the X yesterday? I'm talking about that during Hardwoods.
Oh, wait. How much he's getting paid to be on?
No. The whole Pat McAfee. ESPN's right now, like all the clickbait headlines and all the things that I clicked on anyway.
Your clickbait
My
headlines.
clickbait headlines. ESPN has a major decision. You know, there's something brewing behind the scenes. Pat McAfee, blah, 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 and his band of Merry Stooges. I saw one person going off about, like, Aaron Rodgers dropped 3 F-bombs, and he was extremely offended. The only words that, you know, that Pat McAfee and his merry band of Stooges don't even say are basically the George Carlin words that you can't say.
I think they've gotten better at it. They used to slip up all the time, but I think they've gotten a little better.
Shoot, I don't care. I mean, I'm very good. I don't cuss on air.
Yeah, well, it's
the ones that I can't. I don't say the ones that I can't say.
Right, their final hour, I think they're fine once they're on
the
ESPN Plus or whatever
Plus,
it is, and YouTube.
Basically, YouTube is where most people consume it, right?
Yeah, that's where my brother watches it.
Well, we are going to talk a lot of NFL. We just heard. By the way, I got some great Hardwood stories at 12:30. We're going deep in the National Football League and Super Duper Wild Card Weekend at 12 o'clock. On the other side, though, we have Dustin Starr talking a little Memphis wrestling right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park, we got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand-dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. Two final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus. It is a hump day, and you know on hump day we like to talk with Dustin Starr. He's all over the city. He does a little bit of everything. Does a lot of everything. He's always doing a little something. But I need a little something for you. For when I get off with Dustin, I want you to hit me at 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. During the break, I was thinking about this. Who's the greatest Titans running back of all time? Derrick Henry is getting up out of here. We have CJ2K. You got Eddie George. Hit me up. Rank your top Titans running backs of all time. Because after I talk with my buddy Dustin Starr, I got a few Derrick Henry numbers that I'm going to throw out for you. They're pretty fascinating. And I'm also going to ask you if you were another team. I know that Dacus said this yesterday. He wants the Dallas Cowboys to go out there and get Derrick Henry. I'm going to read you his usage numbers. Tell me at his age if you really think he's still worth it after that. We'll talk about that and so much more. But it is time to talk with our good buddy Dustin Starr. What's up, homie? How's life?
Yo, man, it is busy as ever. A lot of basketball coming up. Had basketball last night with the Hustle. Memphis Wrestling on Sunday of last week. It's just been wild and crazy. And then I just heard your conversation about the greatest Titans running back of all time. Oh my gosh,
it's a tough one.
That's a close one. Yeah, it's kind of like asking a wrestling
fan. You got
fan.
two dudes who both had 2,000-yard seasons.
Oh man.
Eddie George was on the better teams, went to a Super Bowl.
Growing up with Eddie George, I've seen that. I know that some of the fans out there probably aren't as old as us to see Eddie George and how great he was, but it's kind of like asking a wrestling fan their Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Oh, when you get that
there's
answer,
not a wrong
you know
answer,
basically like how old they are. You don't have to see them, but when you get their answers, you know how old they are.
Dustin,
yes, that's exactly right.
Dustin, what is your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Oh my gosh,
put you on the spot, homie.
Well, you walked into that one, man.
Well, I mean, you gotta go Rock. Not Rock. Hold on. Oh. This is tough. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I feel like it's got to be Hulk Hogan just because of the boom and how he carried everything. And I know like the fans nowadays don't like him, but like he's got to be up there, right? Vince has to be on there. Vince is front and center on the Mount Rushmore. A lot of people don't say that, but Ric Flair. How many do I get? Is it 4 or 5?
5.
Is it 5?
Yeah, I need 5 because I've got mine.
Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair. I mean, I feel like The Rock's got to be on there. I feel like he's got to be on there because he is literally the biggest star in the world. And I mean, you might be able to argue that a little bit, but honestly, he is everywhere. He's so famous and popular. Man, and I kind of hate to do it, but I really feel like Hulk Hogan should be on that list because, I mean, would we know what the WWF or WWE is today if the boom of Hulkamania didn't happen?
No way. That's why I took my vitamins as a little kid, Dustin.
Brother. Yeah,
Brother, eat your vitamins, man.
There's my 5 today. It'll be different tomorrow.
I got my 5 for you because I was a little Hulkamaniac when I was a kid. Like, I wanted blonde hair when I was a kid, man. Now I'm glad I got ththese curly, long, black locks. It'll be gray probably the next year.
I just wanted the muscles. That's all I wanted. I was like, oh, man, Hogan's so huge.
It's 16-inch python, so Hogan's number 1. Andre the Giant's number 2 because the WrestleMania guy, the whole Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan recently said that Andre the Giant has to be on the Mount Rushmore.
He's number 2 on mine.
Because the wrestling boom couldn't have happened without him. WrestleMania 3 was the big thing that made, Hulkamania live forever or whatever. Okay, so you got Hogan and Andre.
And by the way, he was also a great actor. Princess Bride, hilarious movie.
Love it.
Love that movie. Yep. Number 3 for me is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I used I loved that dude. I loved
my 3-year-old just stuck up his thumb and yelled "ho" when I said that.
I love it. He's already learning, baby. And number 4, you're probably going to be surprised at this. I was also a huge Ultimate Warrior fan.
Oh yeah, I was.
I used to when he would shake the ropes when I was a little kid. I'm a little spastic and I'm a little weird. I'd run around my house and start shaking things, drive my mom crazy.
Johnny, 1990 WrestleMania 6. Toronto Skydome, the ultimate challenge. It's title versus title. Dude, I remember that like the back of my hand. That was what got me hooked.
Dude.
WrestleMania 6.
Dude, that was so sick. Warriors, no joke. And then number 5 for me is a tag team. And I love Demolition.
Oh, yeah.
So those are my top 5 Rushmore. But one of them is going to have 2 faces or just some shoulder pads with spikes on it. And face paint.
I love it.
Man, heck, I asked for the Titans, the best Titans running backs in history, 901-360-8255. Hit me with your text line. Also, text in your top, your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
Yeah, definitely.
Send that bad boy in. And don't forget, if you love wrestling, good thing you're listening right now because we got Dustin Starr. Memphis Wrestling is absolutely blowing up. Tell me what's coming down the pipeline. What are y'all working on right now? I know y'all got the Lafayette things coming up pretty soon.
It is. It really is. Brian Cage is an AEW superstar currently, and then also James Storm, of course, former TNA World Champion. Those guys are going to be in the house for Lafayette. It's also going to be a little bit of a different wrestling experience than Memphis Wrestling. They're coining the phrase "bump and grind wrestling." So
that goes really good with a little TNA.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more adult-based than what you see on our Saturday show. So that's coming up. Tickets are on sale, memphiswrestling.tv. And then this weekend on Memphis Wrestling Television, it's our annual Grind City Rumble. I know you heard me talking about it when we were going to film it, But now it's over 30 people get in the ring for this big match, kind of like the Royal Rumble, but it's with Memphis Wrestling, and the winner goes on to our Blockbuster Super Bout, which is very similar to our WrestleMania. It's our anniversary. So that's coming up live on February 18th. There's so much going on, but we'll be there back at our live TV tapings on January 28th. So a lot going on. Grind City Rumble this weekend, so we'll see who's going to head off to our anniversary Super Bout.
Grind City Rumble. It's aired. People have seen it, but nobody's watched it on television yet. What's the first night that we can watch that?
Friday. So here's the cool thing. You can tune into WMC Action News 5 Plus on Friday at 11 p.m., and then they re-air on Saturday at 11 a.m. So you can be the first to watch the episode. But then also, if you join our members only on YouTube, which is like $3.99 a month, you can watch it even earlier than that on Friday.
Oh, sweet.
Plus, we post some behind-the-scenes pictures and all sorts of stuff that we don't typically share on our social media. And, man, there's always something going on with Memphis Wrestling behind the scenes. So it's been a lot of fun. Sunday, we had a packed house, the first TV taping of the year. Former WWE superstar Top Dollar was there. We had a limousine pick him up from Memphis International Airport and bring him over first class. So this is going to make for some really good TV. And then the Netflix star, Cash Flow, he's on Wrestlers with Netflix. He was there, and he beat some people up. So coming up after the Grind City Rumble, you'll see some of those episodes that we filmed on Sunday. But January 28th, so check this out. Coming up this week, it's all about basketball, right? So the Hustle played last night. Hustle play tomorrow. Then you've got Grizzlies, more Hustle. Then MLK Day is coming up. So I think it was 7 out of 8 days we have basketball games. And then coming up after that, January 25th is Lafayette's for Memphis Wrestling. Then the 27th is our Royal Rumble watch party. Then the 28th, we are live at the Wrestle Center. So it's like back-to-back, just super-duper busy weeks.
That is busy.
Bro, I'm not going to sleep.
Man, you got the Grizzlies tomorrow. When the Grizzlies play the Clippers?
The Grizzlies will be Friday. So I think it's Friday, Saturday, and then Hustle Sunday, and then MLK Day game is on Monday.
That is absolutely unbelievable. Damn.
Lots going on in Memphis.
Lots going on, man.
Of really good stuff.
Busy. Got to ask you also, though. So you're doing the Royal Rumble. Like, you're airing y'all's Royal Rumble. Aren't y'all doing something to Dave & Buster's, like, for the WW one?
Yes. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So every year we get there at Dave & Buster's and watch the Royal Rumble. And this year it should be even more interesting than ever because CM Punk and Cody and Randy Orton, all these guys are in the Rumble that should headline WrestleMania. Also, The Rock, he's kind of lingering, so will he appear at the Royal Rumble? But what we do is we all watch it at Dave & Buster's. It's free, and we cheer the television. A couple years ago when Drew McIntyre eliminated Brock Lesnar, I mean, for a split second there, you thought you were there because the people cheered like they were sitting front row at the event. So it was just a ton of fun, and we had a really good crowd for the AEW event just a couple weeks ago. But Royal Rumble is one of the I would say WrestleMania has got to be number one, and it's a close race, man, between Royal Rumble and SummerSlam as far as the number 2 pay-per-view of the year. Royal Rumble is always one of my faves because there's so many surprises. Just like in our Grind City Rumble this Saturday or this Friday, whichever day you watch. There's some surprises in there. Some people that you didn't know was going to enter the Royal Rumble. Some former WWE superstars and whatnot. So it's always cool to see the surprises too. And then from there, you're on your way to WrestleMania.
Damn, man, it's just everything. I mean, the year just starting. It's already going fast. I mean, you got Lafayette for wrestling fans where you can go see something. And by the way, is Lafayette's going to air, or is that just like
we'll have some? We'll definitely have those matches on our YouTube channel. Which, by the way, I don't know if I told you if I knew this information last week, but out of all the wrestling-themed YouTube channels in the world, analytics-wise, we rank number 53. How crazy is that?
That is unbelievable. That's putting in the work, son.
Man, and so those matches, like one of the feature matches that we're already talking about is the Genetic Nightmare Mike Anthony versus the Machine Brian Cage. And if you don't know what Brian Cage or Mike Anthony look like, these guys are freaking beasts. I think Brian Cage right now is an AEW or Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champion or something. So, like, he is as legit as it gets. And Mike Anthony's one of the baddest dudes on our roster, man. Like, former Memphis Heritage champion.
Damn.
So they might tear Lafayette apart, to be quite honest with you. But those matches will go on our YouTube channel so the fans can see it.
Man, all you have to pay is what did you say, $3.99 for the...
For the members only, absolutely. Yeah, and then also uncut matches, because sometimes the matches have to get trimmed down a little bit to fit on a 1-hour TV show. So then you get on there and you can watch all the entire thing, you know.
Damn.
But yeah, so those matches, you'll see them, and you'll also see highlights on Memphis Wrestling as well. But as far as the full event, we're not doing a full-fledged TV taping out at Lafayette.
So you can check out Lafayette's, which I mean, that just sounds like so much fun. Damn, the place has got great drinks, great food.
They're not even interested in wrestling, really, and they're like, "You guys are going to Lafayette? I'm down."
Yeah, they love the patio. Yeah, they love the balcony and the patio. They can watch the entertainment from the top. Great place to do that, though. That'll be Thursday, January 25th. And then free at Dave & Buster's, you got the Royal Rumble. That's straight fire.
Then the very next day, the 28th, we're back at the Wrestle Center. So we have former WWE superstar James Ellsworth coming back. I think he's got a little unfinished business. And this has not even been really announced yet, but another star from OVW and the Wrestlers on Netflix series, Hollywood Haley J is coming on January 28th. I mean, what better? Like, this is perfect. Hollywood Haley J is coming to Memphis Wrestling, so I'm sure there'll be some trouble when she gets here, but you'll be able to meet her and Ellsworth at our VIP on January 28th.
January 28th. So January is absolutely huge, man. And by the way, do I need to come out there on the 28th? Because you got me kind of intrigued about that little. So are they wrestling each other?
Who's that? Hollywood?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Hollywood and Ellsworth are wrestling each other, but they would definitely be wrestling in action. And if you think about that week, man, you know, you talk about like the heydays of wrestling and Memphis wrestling and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, within like a 4-day period, we're going to have Brian Cage, James Storm, James Ellsworth, and Hollywood Haley J all within a couple of days, and never know who else is going to show up. But those are some of the biggest stars going right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal for Memphis and for Memphis Wrestling.
How do they get tickets, man? How do they get their tickets?
Easy. MemphisWrestling.tv.
That is easy.
Super
MemphisWrestling.tv. Bing, bang, boom. You got them. Get it done. One guy said in here, my man Randy says, and you can help me out with this because you know more than I do. He says his number 1 on Mount Rushmore is Andre the Giant.
Okay.
Number 2 is Hulk. Of course, Hulk Hogan. Number 3, The Undertaker. Forgot about The Undertaker. That's a good one. He says
I didn't forget, but that's definitely a good one.
And then he said like his 4th, because you know what? We did 5 and we were talking about Mount Rushmore, which is funny because he makes me remember that, you know, there's only 4 presidents.
Bunch of dumb wrestling fans.
Hey, dude. I know, I just was thinking, my brain had been working for like a week. But he says his 4th one, and he needs a little help, is either Dick the Bruiser or Crusher.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know who Dick the Bruiser is.
Oh, Dick the Bruiser's an old school, just tough guy, man, legit. Slap his mama for $1.
Damn.
Crusher makes me think of Milwaukee, and this is just told like a cat. Milwaukee, the Beer City Bruisers up there, and I'd love to have him carry a keg to the ring sometime at one of these Lafayette bar shows and beat somebody up. Anyway, if you don't know Beer City Bruiser, look him up. It's pretty cool. Man, yeah, so those are old school. So this guy has dated himself. He's told us how old he is, kind of, you know.
So is he a little older than me even?
He's older than us. If you don't know who Dick the Bruiser is,
I love
that's
Randy.
Probably the generation prior.
All right, cool, man.
Shout out to
Appreciate
Randy,
it.
man.
Shout out, Randy. Thanks for jumping in here. Dustin, Friday night you'll be back at the Grindhouse. You're busy as all get out. Follow him at Dustin Starr with 2 R's. I hope you get a little bit of sleep this month.
I don't know, man. I probably not, and not that I'll like just be up or whatever. But man, after you go to a Memphis Wrestling event or the Grizzlies event or get done talking on the microphone at Lander Center or whatever, man, it's just like hard to to wind down and go to sleep. Yeah, your your energy and your not like a nervousness or anything. It's just like an excitement. Like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. Cool.
It's like after
I might get a couple naps.
Trust me, I get it after I win a big bet, or lose a big bet. Doesn't matter, win or lose. I'm not going to bed right after it. It takes me a couple hours to wind down. Hey, man, be blessed, kidding. Star, and Happy New Year. And I know y'all are going to kill it over there at Memphis Wrestling.
Happy New Year, everybody. I look forward to seeing you at Bell Time.
Man, that is Dustin Starr. He's the man about town. He's with the Redbirds, the Grizzlies, the Hustle, Memphis Wrestling, you name it, you'll find him there. Don't touch the dial on the other side. We'll talk a little bit about the Tennessee Titans' Derrick Henry. And I know that my man, he wants to take Derrick Henry, but these stats maybe say no. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
What's wrong? You look bereft.
I am bereft.
What is it?
Well, there's only 3 Central Barbecue locations. The original Central Barbecue on Central, it's closed.
Oh, don't worry, little buckaroo. The location on Central will be back before you know it and better than ever. Now, there's still the location on Summer. You love that one, right?
Yeah.
And there's still the Central Barbecue downtown and the Central Barbecue on Poplar. You love those too, right?
I do love those.
So you could go to those, and then when Central Barbecue on Central reopens, it'll be like Christmas, but with pork.
I feel better already.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-309-2677. 800-309-2677. 800-309-2677. That's 800-309-2677.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got my buddy Brian Dacus hanging out with me, and it is a beautiful hump day. Halfway through the week. Good, because I can't wait for the weekend. We got super duper wild card weekend. We got the Steelers and the Bills at 12 o'clock on a little Sunday action. But, man, did you know we have Saturday action? Everything kicks off at 3:30 with the Browns, the Texans. On the other side, we're breaking down all the wild card games. I'm just getting knee deep up in this because I'm ready to gamble. I'm ready to watch these games. I'm fired up. You know some dogs are going to come in. I got to figure those out. Those are the tough ones. We're going to talk about it. Now, yesterday, Brian Dacus, you were talking about Dallas Cowboys. Oh, my gosh. Did you see Derrick Henry's final performance? He ran like a Mack truck.
That's right.
He looked like a Mack truck with Ferrari speed.
I don't know if that's what I said, but yes, that was the sentiment.
That was the sentiment. That's yes, right. And he would give you a Super Bowl championship.
Well, we might have one before we get him, John.
Oh man. Hey. There's just one big team standing in the way.
That's right.
Hey. And I ain't talking about Fat Albert either. Talking about San Francisco 49ers seem to have your number. But Derrick Henry, he is, again, I want to hear it, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Your top running backs of all time in the Titans organization, C.J. Tukay, Eddie George, Derrick Henry, maybe somebody else. But this is where I'm kind of wondering, do you trust that there's enough gas in Derrick Henry's tank to go out there and pay him the kind of money that Derrick Henry wants to bring in? I'm not sure after you listen to these numbers. And again, I got these numbers. Oh, gosh. I got these from Jay Greason. And it's as a 4-year star, by the way, 4-year starter in high school. Did you know he broke every damn record there was for running?
That's right.
He had 1,397 carries.
His huddle film is incredible.
For 12,124 yards. He scored 153 touchdowns in 4 years at high school. I don't care. It's high school, but that's putting miles on the tread. 4-year starter in high school. Man started as a freshman all the way to a senior. He was a baller. In his 3 years at Alabama, he played in 39 games, 602 carries, 3,591 yards, 42 rushing touchdowns. In his 8 years, 119 games in Nashville, he has 2,030 carries for 9,502 yards and 90 rushing touchdowns. So in the last 15 years, Henry has 4,029 carries for 25,217 yards and 285 rushing freaking touchdowns.
It's incredible.
It's insane. My question is there any tread still on those tires? Is there any gas in that damn tank?
Yes.
You still think so?
Well, and also, I mean, with the Cowboys, you don't need him to come in and be your every down back. You have Tony Pollard to take some of that or most of that load off him. You really just need him in short yard situations where you need his strength to come and play. So I think they could sell him on that of, look, you know, you're getting up in age. We know the lifespan of a running back in this league. You've obviously played the position for a very long time in terms of running back years. We could bring you in here where you can give us value while also not having to be out there every single down, just, you know, beating your body up. And, you know, we could win a couple Super Bowls.
And also, by the way, you know, Derrick Henry has hinted at he wants to go to a winner and that he's willing to give them a bargain.
And I know a winner down in Texas, John.
If it's the right situation, Derrick Henry has said that he will give them a bargain. Let's not forget, Derrick Henry screwed all running backs when it comes to contract situations.
He feels a little bad about it.
Because he gave a hell of a bargain to play for the Titans. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about Derrick Henry. Some running backs have.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I mean, hey, you can't tell a man what to do with his money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But he's been very productive. Does he have any tread still on that tire? We're going to find out. But, yeah, dudes, when I looked at those numbers, thank you, Jay, I said to myself, 25,217 yards, 285 touchdowns, but 4,029 carries in the last 15 years. Have you ever seen his workout videos?
Oh yeah, he does
unbelievable. He does change. This dude ain't working out with weights. He's flipping tires. He's running around with chains on his body.
He's incredible.
It's insane. Dude's he's definitely cut from a different cloth.
Sure is.
Well, we're going to talk a whole lot of football on the other side. I'm fired up about that now. So we're going to take a quick time out. We got a few words, pay a few bills. We'll see you on the other side. It's time to talk football. Don't forget, 12:30, I got Hardwood because it feels so good. And then we're closing out with our bets. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
Join the Sports Time crew of Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus this Thursday from 3 to 6 at Sissy's Log Cabin on Poplar across from the Oak Court Mall. Sissy's is celebrating their official grand opening of its newest store on Thursday, January 11th. Grand opening events begin at 9:45 a.m. and an official ribbon cutting takes place at 10 a.m. The Sports Time crew will be there from 3 to 6, so stop by this one-of-a-kind jewelry store. That's this Thursday from 3 to 6 at Sissy's Log Cabin.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll make the playoffs electrifying. New customers, listen to this, can bet $5, that's it, on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and then please use the code HERD to get this offer, H-E-R-D. New customers, bet $5, that's it, to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. With the code HERD, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78, that's Lamar, and the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
to get nuts! Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out all day long, all day strong on a hump day. I'm halfway through my work day. Only one more hour to go, and then I get to go out there and hang out in the world with all you wonderful people. Heck, I might stop by Getaway Sports Bar. It's the best 24-hour bar in the city, period. And I didn't say that, but like 24/7, the coldest beer in town, like grub, all the like good bar grub, like good burgers, good fries and onion rings, great food. You'll love it over there. 4632 Winchester. They got 6 big Valley bar top pool tables. They got 2 dartboards. They got like 12 huge TVs. It is a sports bar, cold beer, eat some good burgers, heaven. It's Getaway Sports Bar. It was a little secret. It ain't anymore. Check it out. You'll absolutely love it. Now, we got to talk a little NFL football. We talked a little bit earlier. We got some big, big games this weekend. It is super-duper wild card weekend in the National Football League. It all starts on Saturday, and it spills all the way over into Monday. And the Monday game is the one that I want to start off with. It's not the closest one to happening. But it's the one that, as much as I like the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like if you took the Eagles, you're a moron. You are a moron. But, again, that's why they play the game. You don't think the Grizzlies, after they came back in the fourth quarter and beat the Lakers, were going to go on the road and beat the Suns and come back in the fourth quarter, especially the way Suns dominated for 3 quarters. And then after they lose Ja, you don't think they're going to go to Dallas? And, damn it, they beat them by 17 points after having a 17-point fourth quarter, so you don't know. But doesn't it just look like you got 2 teams going in complete opposite directions? This is an Eagles team that started the season 10-1, and since then has gone 1-5 and just got smacked by the New York Giants.
The G-Men.
And they played their starters.
That's right. John, I was shocked. I did not watch that game. The Tigers-SMU game was going on, so I had that on the main TV. I had the Cowboys game on my iPad, and they kept having like live look-ins at that game, and I was just shocked. Every time they would come up, it would be like the Giants have scored again. I didn't know what was going on because it was anybody's division at that point. If the Eagles had won, it would have made it interesting. So,
oh, God.
Shocked me.
It's a shock to me. I mean, this is a game that the Eagles needed to win. They, again, 10-1. Everybody was like they're Supermen. They get Jalen Hurts' finger all banged up in it by playing him in a game they were already down 24-0 at halftime. What did you think about that? The Giants were up 24-0 on the Eagles at freaking halftime.
An Eagles team that was playing their starters.
Yep. And you got to think about this. Tyrod Taylor threw for 300 yards.
And a Giants team that was starting Tyrod Taylor.
On a Giants team that had, number one, Tyrod Taylor, and its best wide receiver is who? Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins. Those are I'm just saying those are their only 3 real wide receivers on the team. I mean, they do have Darren Waller.
I was about to say, can I go tight end?
Well, I said wide receivers.
I know,
but
put me in a corner there.
It's not. I'm just saying it's not like Tyrod Taylor is out there working with a lot more than anybody else. And the Giants beat the brakes off of the Eagles. What is Baker Mayfield, who a lot of people don't even realize because a lot of people haven't been talking about him because they're just kind of forgotten. They're down in Tampa. Tom Brady's gone. They play in the worst division in the NFC. This team has quietly won 5 of their last 6 games. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, they've been
5 of their last 6 games. They've been coming out big, and their defense is playing as good as anybody's defense right now in the National Football League. In fact, right now they're ranked 5th. They only give up 19 points per game. So you got a good defense that's about to play against a sorry offense in the Philadelphia Eagles. And I say sorry because I was watching NFL Countdown, and Dan Orlovsky broke it down as good as anybody could ever break it down. The difference between last year under Shane Steichen as the offensive coordinator and then this year's team without him. They are going out there in the 2x2 basically every time. They're like 35% using less motion than they did. He showed even the offensive linemen their stance and how their play action, they're not selling it because they're standing there in a 2-point stance instead of a 3-point stance. And they're basically just, instead of firing off when they do a little play action, they basically just stand there and go ahead and show the pass block. And the linebackers don't step up. Jalen Hurts doesn't have easy windows. Then he also showed that, heck, the wide receivers and the quarterbacks don't even understand the concepts, because he was showing how on hot routes, when, corners blitz, when safeties blitz, when guys step in the box, when you have, 5, 6 guys in there to block and they're bringing 7, or if you got 5 guys in the block and they're bringing 6, there's going to be a hot route. Well, he showed where the quarterback and the wide receivers all got their back turned to the quarterback, and the quarterback is not even looking at the hot route, and he's taking his sack, or then he's scrambling and trying to run around and make things happen with his feet and extend the plays. And that's just not how they operated last year when they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. The offense is looking terrible. And Jalen Hurts is banged up. So is A.J. Brown. Like, this team ain't coming in here looking all good. And by the way, have you looked at that offensive line? Do they look like they're the offensive line that they were last year?
No, they do
the
not.
only thing right now that they got going for them is the damn tush push, and you can't do that 4 straight times and pick up 10 yards.
That's right. When it seems like a lot of, I don't know if it's because of the tush push, but it seems like a lot of the officials are kind of getting tired of the Eagles' offensive line, because there have been a lot of time, and I think maybe Kelsey's talked about this, where or maybe other
they've been
offensive
showing
linemen.
it out, like Travis Kelce with him putting the ball forward,
right?
Like he's done
but
for
I don't
many
know
years
what
and
is,
gotten away with it. Has
what,
been something
but what
that
is
has been
what has
sneaky.
gone to that now?
Lane Johnson's getting called for holding
right,
a little bit more than.
But
often.
what has gone, because people have come out and said that they've been
older
told
and they got
that
tons of wear and tear on their body.
But that wouldn't go into the officials calling it if they say that. That's what I'm saying. Cause
the other teams have complained about it so much that the officials have finally said we've got to do something about this.
Interesting.
Especially with the tush push.
That's what I'm saying. I think that goes into
and then
it.
Kelsey pushes the ball out an extra 6 inches when he goes and touches it.
I think that's part of it.
That's that's a lot of it. But yeah, they've been enforcing it anyway. But the point is, I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about how is this Eagles team realistically going to score on this Bucs defense in Tampa. But on
question.
Realistic, what are they? They can't score on anybody. They have been absolutely terrible. Their offensive efficiency is just not there. If you look what they have done in their last 5 games, they've lost to the Cardinals, the Giants, the Seahawks, and got their brains beat out of them by the Cowboys. Go back a game before that, 49ers dropped them 42-19. Cowboys 33-13. These are ugly, ugly games. The only win that they have in there was a sneaky win where they beat the Giants by 8. This team has not been playing good football. And you have a Bucs team, again, winners of 5 of the last 6, and I want to remind you, I said it yesterday, Baker Mayfield has got to be up there in people talking about comeback player of the year, because he's quietly, thrown for over 4,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. The Bucs are in the playoffs. And you don't think Mike Evans is going to be able to get open all day long on that secondary? I think you would be absolutely crazy. I feel like Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield and that defense, I feel like the Eagles get dropped like a bad habit. And I know Nick Sirianni he wins the post-game pressers for me. I think he's the best post-game press conference coach, because every time he's like, we got this winning mentality when your back's up against the wall. He's like, F it, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We got to come together. We're men. Da, da, da. He's a macho coach. I like his coach speak. But whatever's going on from what he does to his post-game pressers, the locker room seems lost. A lot of people feel like Jalen Hurts and that locker room have, basically disjointed, like Jaws Labrum. I don't know. It's just there's not a connect there. I think I'm going to put a chunk on the Bucs. You know who's favored, right?
I'm guessing the Eagles are.
Yeah, dude. And that to me is absolutely insane. Wrong team favored, bro. I'm going money line on the Bucs.
Wow. Holy cow.
In fact, I'm going to do it while I'm sitting here talking to y'all right here on air. I feel so good about this game.
That's crazy.
It's insane, man. It doesn't make any sense. And it's the Monday night standalone game. The Eagles, they are not going to get any better. It's not going to happen. You don't play this bad over the last 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden find it in the playoffs on the road.
No, that's tough. That really is.
It ain't happening, man. It is not happening. So we are flying.
Do we make a move with Sirianni if they get knocked out of the first round?
No.
Really?
He took them to the Super Bowl last year. No. Nick Sirianni.
Collapse like that? Ooh.
Dude, 10-1, this is where you could literally say the tread wore off the tires. The Eagles secondary is devastated by injury, and they are terrible. The offensive line has gotten old and looks bitter and soft. You got injuries galore. Hurts isn't running this year because he's been banged up all season long. Now he's going into a playoff game with a bum hand.
I just hate Sirianni, so any opportunity
Bucks
I have
plus
to fire
140 right now. Go get some on
plus
the money
140.
line.
I like it.
Go get some of that. I love it. Now, we got to switch a little gear here, and I got to bring up I brought up the Steelers earlier and the Buffalo Bills, and I basically told you the Buffalo Bills, I hate laying a line of 10. I don't like it at all. By the way, I found my underdog.
Okay, well, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. That's my favorite underdog. You got to pick underdog somewhere. I love them as a dog. I was looking at the Steelers as a dog because the line's so big and this is playoff football. And the total is only 36.5. It's not going to be some high-scoring game over in Orchard Park. Have you looked at the weather?
I have not.
Doesn't really matter for these two teams. They play in the nastiest weather all the damn time. I can tell you one thing in Buffalo, it's going to be freaking cold.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold.
Not as cold as it's going to be in Kansas City, John.
Here we go. I got you right here, buddy. Here we go. In Buffalo, dadgummit.
I'll look it up, John. That seems like a
never
me
mind.
job.
Yeah, never mind. I was just going to say, I thought I could just push this little button on AccuView. Nope.
That's a Sunday game, right? Or is that a Saturday game?
They play Sunday at 12.
Okay, Sunday, the temperature at 12 o'clock is going to be 24 degrees.
Woo-wee.
Yeah. High 24, low 22.
We got any a little snow coming down?
The humidity is 73%, but the precipitation's only 15%. So doubt we get anything. It's supposed to be very windy, John. 26-mile-per-hour wind.
Well, I don't believe that and that the Steelers with Mason Rudolph are going to be able to go out there and beat the Buffalo Bills, who have come back and won the AFC East, who got the second seed in the wild card. I mean, this is a Bills team that's 10-7. Now, that's so impressive for Mike Tomlin to do it with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, George Pickens being a pain in the keister, not blocking, kind of being a little bit of a prima donna, not doing what he was supposed to. T.J. Watt's injury. I can't go with the dog Steelers here. If I'm going to play this game on Sunday morning, it's going to have to be the Buffalo Bills. They've just been too damn good. I mean, Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions in the end zone and fumbled a football, and they still are on the road and came back and kicked the Miami Dolphins' butt.
That's right.
That's impressive.
Sure is.
Buffalo at home. Buffalo just feels like a team of destiny. Everybody's been crucifying Josh Allen about his turnovers. And now I think Superman's going to put on his damn cape. He's about to tap dance all over the Steelers' face. Now, I bring up also, though, the T.J. Watt thing because I wanted to go here because I saw this. And this stat is absolutely amazing. So, who in your mind are the top 4 defensive linemen? We did the Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Like defensive linemen, defensive ends. Who are your 4 sack masters in the National Football League?
I mean, T.J. Watt's got to be on there.
Absolutely.
Myles Garrett's got to be on there.
Absolutely.
Probably one of the Bosa brothers on there.
Throw one of them on there.
Okay.
Nick's going to be great. I mean, Nick's doing great.
And then Micah Parsons. John, I can't leave Micah Parsons off.
He had a career not long enough.
I don't care. He's on there.
But this is something that you're going to love. I would throw, of course, Lawrence Taylor And
you meant all time.
All time, and the minister of defense.
My list would have been way different. I thought we were just doing current. I'm sorry.
Well, I am kind of talking current, and of course Reggie White, the minister of defense.
Of course.
But I saw this. If you follow at Powell Analytics, Dylan Powell, you will get some amazing stats from this dude. So T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett each just played their 100th game. They rank 1 and 2 in sacks per game ahead of guess who they rank ahead of?
I don't know who.
Reggie freaking White and Lawrence Taylor.
Wow.
The GOATs of all time. Just ahead of Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, and then DeMarcus Ware. First 100 games, the top 5. Most sacks.
I do love DeMarcus Ware.
That is unfreaking believable. TJ Watt averages 0.93 sacks a game. Myles Garrett, 0.89. Reggie White, 0.85. Lawrence Taylor, 0.79. And DeMarcus Ware, 0.78. Your top 5 through their first 100 games. Guess who's not playing for the Steelers?
Mr. TJ Watt.
No TJ Watt, no problem for Josh Allen. No turnovers for the Bills this week. No turnovers means no Moss covering for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. Now, the Packers and the Cowboys. It ain't Freaky Friday, but it was the team that Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with. Mike McCarthy was the Green Bay Packers coach. Had a little man named Brett Favre. Well, no, Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
Yeah.
That just, I just go to Favre. I forget about the man bun guy, even though I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers and Pat McAfee. But my man's done some good stuff. Well, now he's got the Cowboys at home in position. They have at least 2 home playoff games if they get past the Packers. And Dak Prescott, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 4,500 yards. And CeeDee Lamb, what he's done this year is insane. Did you know that CeeDee Lamb, with all the great wide receivers throughout the Cowboys' history, CeeDee Lamb led the league in receptions this year?
Yeah.
Did you know no Cowboy until this year and CeeDee Lamb have ever led the league in receptions?
That's hard to believe.
Really number 88 was a pretty good one. Man.
Which one?
Mike. I said Dez Bryant. I was about to say, don't forget Dez was there too.
That's right, he was. And I ever since I heard the Cowboys and the Packers are going to be playing each other in the playoffs, I get flashbacks of Dez Bryant up in Lambeau, and he caught it, and they said
that was tough, I bet.
Yeah, it was very tough.
That was tough. But yeah, man, the Packers-Cowboys is going to be great. And again, I looked at this one, and for me, it's simple. For the Packers, it's all about Aaron Jones. I know Jordan Love has been unbelievable. In fact, he's actually been better than Dak Prescott since Week 11. He's been the best quarterback since Week 11. And Jordan Love is no joke. They got a good one in him. But I feel like the whole game comes down to Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones can run right down the Cowboys' throat, and if anybody can do it, it's Aaron Jones. And we've seen lesser teams run down the Cowboys' throat. They play the smallest group of linebackers in the National Football League. Are they fast? Hell yeah. Can they cover? Yeah. Can they sack the quarterback? Yeah. But you got to have a lead to do all these things. You got to put a team from behind. If the Packers, you take that ball and Aaron Jones, you run that joint right down their throat. And I still don't think it's going to be enough. Packers' defensive secondary is not good. And at, AT&T Stadium? Or what is it in Dallas? AT&T Stadium?
That's right.
That's a fast track. Nobody plays better at home than who? The Dallas Cowboys. It's weird. The Dallas Cowboys have the best home record in all of football. Did you know that?
That's right.
Nobody's beat them. And their margin of victory at home is the largest in the National Football League. Right now, the biggest home field advantage in the National Football League, no matter which team you pick, Dallas Cowboys is number 1. They have not lost a game at home, and their margin of win is larger than any other team in the National Football League. Guess where the Cowboys are playing?
At AT&T Stadium.
I love Jordan Rodgers. I love this
Jordan Love.
Damn, I am. Jordan Rodgers is a real human
being. Sure
is.
Related to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, played quarterback at Vanderbilt.
That's right.
Does the TV.
It's on SEC Network.
SEC Network. Doesn't like his brother very much.
No, they don't like each other.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
We need to get them to sit down and smoke a joint together and eat ayahuasca.
And we need it recorded and put on like YouTube or television
hell
or something.
yes, dude. Reach out to me. I'll put that stuff out. That'd be awesome. Damn, that just got me off of what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Who was I talking about? Because I said Jordan Rodgers.
Jordan Love. You love Jordan Love. We love Love.
I love Love.
Except for this week. He becomes Jordan hate. We hate Jordan.
I'm just saying, I don't think they can put up enough points to beat the Dallas Cowboys. The thing is I don't know if Dallas can cover the 7.5. Because I feel like I think the safest bet in this game has got to be the total. It's the highest total, by the way. It's 50.5. I think the safest bet with the Cowboys, whose defense, again, at home they're a different animal at home. Because they're so fast off that edge. That's why I'm saying this game doesn't come down to Jordan Love. If Aaron Jones runs for $150 and a couple tutties, the play action can work. Jordan Love can then push the ball down the field. He can put a little bit of pressure on that secondary who's so good at getting turnovers. But 7.5 for me, I'm a little bit nervous today. But I feel damn good about this over. Because you know what? If the Cowboys are rolling and Green Bay's getting killed, they can put up 45 themselves when they rolling, especially on that Packer defense.
Well, that's what we were out here yesterday afternoon, and we were talking about some of the lines. And I was told that
the Rams and Lions, I'm sorry, they are 51.5.
Wow. So right, same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood.
But I was told somebody in this building said, I think the Cowboys are going to cover against the Packers on this weekend. And I said, what's the line? And they said 7.5. And I was blown away that the Cowboys, I get it, they're at home. I get it, the Packers, kind of just squeaked in there. But 7.5 is a lot of points. And I'm with you, John. I don't know if they'll be able to cover all that.
But I sure do like that over. Again, if the game's close, it's going to be back and forth offensive game.
Sure. This
is not going to be a deadgum, I don't even know how to, this is not going to be like the old-fashioned, 13-17 football game.
Yeah.
This is going to be back and forth, or it's just going to be the Cowboys pour it all over the Packers. I don't feel as comfortable with the game, one side or the other, but I love that over. And then the Rams-Lion game, can I tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth, John.
I have no idea. I think this is the hardest game to break down. Detroit -3. It looks kind of easy, doesn't it? At home, Dan Campbell, you got one of the best play-action teams in all of football. This Lions team has been pretty damn awesome. 12-5. They lost to the Cowboys. Their late games, the games as of recent, the last loss they had in the last, 5 weeks was the Cowboys? It's pretty impressive. They've done a really good job. They got a lot of dudes on that team. Have you seen the running back situation? David Montgomery, extremely underrated. And Jahmyr Gibbs, thought it was a bad pick where they picked him, has been a stud. He's got speed to the edge. He's been an absolute beast. And then you got, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds. They've got a ton of dudes. The only thing that I'm worried about with the Lions is Sam Laporta. How banged up is he? That's something I'm going to keep my eye on.
Sure.
Because he is Jared Goff's blanket. I love their offensive line. I think their offensive line is much better than the Rams. The defense, not as sold on their defense. It can be good at points, but I've also seen it during the year just be absolutely terrible. And the Rams offense, let's just be real. They know how to score.
Yeah.
Sean McVay knows how to put points on the board. He also knows how to get his hair always looking perfectly coiffed. But, my little running back from LSU, Williams, has been a breath of fresh air. Notre Dame. He's been just a breath of fresh air for them. They actually have a run game. They got wide receivers out the frame. I think this is going to be just another high-scoring game, but I don't know. For some crazy reason, I feel like Matt Stafford is going to go to Detroit and break every damn Lions fan's heart. Just rip it out of their chest. I'm serious. Like, for some reason, like, I can't tell you exactly why I believe this. I just believe that it's poetic justice for the 12 years that he suffered with the Lions. To go in there and poor Lions fan have been suffering for so long, though. I mean, I feel bad for Lions fans, but I really feel like this is just what's going to happen. If you're a Lions fan, expect this to happen.
I was watching. I was listening to these guys talking college basketball, but they're both from the Michigan area, and so they're talking about Detroit and hosting Matt Stafford, and one of them was like, "I just don't know if I can root against him. Like, I love him so much.
Oh, that's funny.
He was our quarterback for so long. I just don't know if I can hate him for this one game." And the other guy was like, "Oh, I can, for sure. Like, I will find a way to, just for that, 3 hours, I'll hate him. After that, I'll love him again." I mean, they adore him up in Detroit.
Dude, I mean, just Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson. They got Tyler Higbee, Matt Stafford, Sean McVay. They're going to put up some points in Detroit. I know that Detroit's offense is extremely good. I don't know, man. It's kind of the been there, done that thing. And I did, again, poetic justice with Stafford. Man, I have been talking about football for a while. Haven't even gotten to all the games. But we have to take a quick timeout, have to pay a few bills. Don't forget, if life ever hands you lemons, make sure you make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best spirit around. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
There have been times when all seemed dark, when it seemed night would last forever. Souls wandered the earth in search of something satisfying, something fulfilling. And then, when all seemed lost, dawn broke, and it was sunrise. At last the people had their dream realized. They could have not just breakfast, or lunch, or even 11sies, but they could have them served fast and fresh and made just for them. At last, at long last, the cock has crowed.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop, here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Bryant Dacus. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day. A lot of help from all you texters out there. Appreciate y'all jumping in and joining the game. I have to ask this, and a guy just said this, and it says, have you noticed We haven't had, just that outstanding running back in college like Herschel Walker, the Bo Jackson, the Adrian Petersons, Barry Sanders. It's been a few years since that special running back. But we've had receivers, tight ends, but no running backs. There's been some damn good ones, but not like, Barry Sanders or Bo Jackson or, Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush. There's a lot of great running backs. Yeah, but we haven't had that super special season. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, you look at a team like Michigan who runs the ball all the time, they have multiple running backs. And then you look at most teams, they throw the rock all over the yard. Quincy Judkins 2 years ago, tied Herschel Walker's freshman, record, or, his, true freshman record is like with rushing touchdowns. He was balling, yards and all that good stuff. But, it's just, Quinshawn, I wouldn't put him up there, not even close, with Bo or Barry or Marcus or Reggie. Those are people who won Heisman's as well, by the way. Yeah, that's the thing is when are you going to get a running back to get a Heisman again?
That's a good question.
We've devalued the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Christian McCaffrey, though, one hell of a running back in the National Football League. They're off this week as they have a bye now. We've been talking all kinds of things football. Now it's time to get into a few things that are a little bit funny. I do want to remind you, though, this portion of the program has been brought to you by Dyers. They're not just downtown anymore. They're out in Collierville, 101 North Center Street in Collierville's historic town square. They got a great chicken salad I had the other day. And, of course, they still have their world-famous hot dogs, cheeseburgers. They got catfish, tamales. They got all kinds of different sandwiches and desserts. Check them out. Historic town square out in Collierville. Go to dyerscafe.com. You can get their full menu. You can order from online. You can call out there. You can have orders catered. The number is 901-850-7750, 901-850-7750. Or just go to dyerscafe.com for all the information. Make sure you go out to Collierville's historic town square at 101 North Center Street. Dyers Cafe. They've been doing it right since 1912. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Man, oh man, Tiger Woods left Nike. Seems like he's having a little bit of fun now. Did you know he was hanging out with Barstools?
Was he?
Yeah, he was with the Barstools dudes. The Foreplay podcast. I love that. That's a great name for a podcast when it has to do with golf.
That's right.
Because you yell, four!
And also, foreplay is a, what do they call
Sexual innuendo.
Right, but what do they call that where it has like two different meanings? Whatever.
Well, it's just a thing that's like, foreplay is what you get before you get into the goods.
Thank you, John. I wasn't aware of that.
You need a little foreplay.
Right.
It's basically like stretching before you work out, or going out there and warming up before you go out there and take the mound, you know what I'm saying? I guess you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying, John.
Melinda, are you happy with him saying that he knows?
She has the flu right now, so she's not listening. Okay. She wouldn't be listening even if she was healthy, but she's certainly not listening right now.
Tiger Woods proved to me why he's the best golfer in the world. So all the Foreplay podcasts, they decided, like the Big Cat guy and some dude named Riggs, they all decided to do a long drive competition against Tiger Woods, but Tiger Woods had to do it from his knees. Tiger Woods hit a 230-yard drive from his knees. He won the long drive competition. Does that say why it's called Foreplay? Because these guys aren't very good golfers if they can't beat Tiger Woods from his knees. They just say this. I'd hit it farther. How about you, Dacus?
No, I wouldn't. I did see this. Speaking of Tiger Woods, Topgolf put out a job opening on LinkedIn for a outerwear, clothing executive or something like that, and all of the requirements to get that job was everything that Tiger Woods has done. So it was like, you must have X amount of tour appearances, you have to win this many majors, you have to have been able to shoot this at 3 years old or whatever. It was all only Tiger Woods, and so that was funny last night.
That is pretty funny. I think this is pretty interesting. We were talking about the Lions and Matt Stafford coming to town. Did you know that Lions fans have been putting this out, that there's a ban on Matt Stafford jerseys? Don't wear your Detroit Lions Matt
Yeah,
Stafford
but too
jersey.
many people already wear
Don't
Matt
wear
Stafford
your
jerseys.
number 9 jersey to the game, or guess what? Lions fans are threatening.
They're going to throw something at you.
And they might beat you, bro.
Oh,
This
wow.
is Detroit, man.
Interesting.
This is the home, like, of Eminem from
That's
8
right.
Mile.
That's right.
This is the home of, man, who's my man from Beverly Hills Cop?
What was his name in the movie?
It's going to drive me nuts now.
Hold on, I can look it up. I love
gonna
that.
drive-
They're making a new Beverly Hills
Reggie,
Cop.
no.
not
That's Reggie Hammond was a different one.
Axel Foley.
Axel
There you go.
Foley, what a
Yeah,
great
Axel
name.
Foley.
Axel Foley's going to arrest you.
They're making a new Beverly Hills Cop. On,
Man, is it got Eddie
Netflix.
Murphy?
Yeah, it's got everybody in it. It's gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be on Netflix. Big Sean also from Detroit.
Big Sean's also from Detroit.
Sure
Who's
is.
Big Sean?
He's a rapper.
Oh. Do they have a good rap scene in Detroit?
They do, actually.
I figured they would. I watched that movie 8 Mile one time. Not a really interesting movie at all.
D12 also, that was Eminem's group before he did his own thing.
D12?
D12, yeah.
Ah, interesting. Now, did you see last night that this dude sunk a half-court shot?
Who?
Los Angeles Lakers. They were playing, and some dude came out, and BetMGM offered $100,000 if the dude made the half-court shot. And dude hit the half-court shot.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. It was unbelievable. Even all the Lakers, you can watch the video, they were going crazy. Like D'Angelo Russell, who was underneath the basket, is like, holy bleep. I mean, dude just won $100,000. Man. He said he would have been happy with $20. It just felt good for it to go in front of the fans.
Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling. Forget the prize.
Dude. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. Well, see, this is where the reason I brought it up. So did you see where it was a college game, it was a couple weeks ago, where a guy, somebody made a half-court shot. And you know what they won?
A car.
No. It was like a year's supply of some fried chicken
It's
at
the
a
gift that
chicken
keeps on
joint.
giving, John. I mean,
So what are you trying to kill him?
You don't like chicken?
A year's dude, you can't eat fried chicken every day, dude. I don't know if you know this. Eating fried food all the time is not good for
John,
you. John,
I go to Chick-fil-A probably 5 times a week. So I mean,
well, you know you should probably try to get at least 50% of your protein from plant-based proteins.
I don't like plants.
Meats are technically carcinogens.
Interesting.
Yeah, go check it out. They're not good for you if you eat them all the time. But I will tell you something. I eat them because they damn tasty,
It's very
man.
tasty.
But I pound a lot of fruits and vegetables. Never mind. Man, I'm glad I just stopped myself because it was going to sound stupid.
Thank you, John.
And it was going to get me in a lot of trouble, I'm sure.
John, you're growing.
I'm growing up.
That's right.
I guess I'm growing up. Do you think Draymond Green, who's now coming back, is he going to be able to cut out his antics? Do you feel like this is going to be a success, or is this going to be a colossal failure? Will he be able to, in that moment, say to himself, no, I'm not going to react. I'm going to turn the other cheek.
I do, John.
Really?
I do. I like Draymond.
I like him too.
Really?
I'm just
that goes against a lot of things you've said in the past.
No. I don't like him at all.
You just said
when
you
he's
liked
playing the
him.
Grizzlies.
Oh, just when he's
when
playing the Grizzlies. I see.
I don't like him.
Okay.
But are you kidding me? Do I think he's hilarious? I mean, I don't like Rudy Gobert, and he almost choked the guy out, so he got some bonus points with me.
Guess
I
that's
don't
true.
like LeBron James, and he kicked him in the nuts.
It's true.
That's interesting for me. But one of the reasons I also hate him is because he gave Cleveland a damn championship.
Yeah.
And LeBron James shouldn't have but 3 of them. Instead, Draymond Green gave him one, wrapped it up, gave it to him in a bow for a present.
That's right.
That's why he went to LeBron James's party, by the way, when he was suspended, because LeBron James knows without Dre, he wouldn't have a chip.
Braun was like, yeah, come on.
Always, Dre.
You're in the will. Yeah, forget Bronny. You're getting the house.
Dre's going to get a lot, but he's coming back. How many days was he out? How many games was his suspension?
It was like 2 weeks, I think.
All right. It feels like it's been a long, long time, but it wasn't nearly as long as Jaws. I don't know, man. I don't know if zebra can change its stripes. I mean, maybe it will. He seemed very convincing when he was talking about how he didn't want to hurt Steph's legacy and that it hurt him extremely bad.
I really do think he did some soul searching in his time off. I mean, his podcast, again, John, you watched it. You came away very happy with what he said. Anybody that hasn't gone seen it, I mean, that really came from the heart from Draymond, and you could really feel everything he was saying.
And then we talked about Aaron Rodgers a little bit earlier. This is what I'm closing out the first segment. Aaron Rodgers yesterday, did you feel like he had talked to an attorney before he went on air?
I did not.
You didn't?
No.
Damn. Maybe I felt like it was very. He was still going at him. But basically, like when you look at some of the things that he said, it did feel like he had talked with an attorney about things that he could clarify. Now, let's be real. The feuding between Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers, it probably helps both of them. But he said that he basically said that he didn't say Jimmy Kimmel. He said he didn't say Jimmy Kimmel was a pedophile. He said, though, that a lot of his guests, and that Aaron Rodgers would be pleased to find out that a lot of his friends and guests of the convicted sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein were coming out on the list. He said he didn't say that. And again, he dropped a bunch of F-bombs and went a little bit crazy. But damn it, dude, I watched it. And now they're not going to put him on here. And I'm not sure, like when I got off the air, I went, watched a little NFL Network, then went on to do a little gym, then got on and I watched the snippets from the X.
Right.
From his, Pat McAfee show. And they're very entertaining.
Yeah. He's an entertaining guy. I mean, that's why ESPN's paying him so much money.
I thought it was coming out of Pat McAfee's.
Oh, I was talking about the Pat McAfee show in general. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot of money. Yeah. Do you think ESPN is enjoying Pat McAfee? I mean, he's getting talked about every day. Like, I mean, from a business standpoint, I feel like it's if you don't like somebody, remember back in the day, Howard Stern. Like, people couldn't understand why everybody was listening to Howard Stern all the time.
Right.
Originally, at first, it's because a lot of people hated him.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers. Others love him.
I mean, I think it's very two-sided because there are a lot of people that love him. And
well, that's the way that everything is today, man. This ain't like where everybody knows your name. It's like either you're on this side and you're wrong, or you're on this side and you're wrong.
Reference from you. Where everybody knows your name.
Oh, damn, man. See, my subconscious, I just steal from everybody.
No, but I think it's very two-sided because on one end, I mean, what he brings in terms of like social media and also like internet from YouTube
I had it
on
in here yesterday just to see if he was on.
Everybody was watching that yesterday to see what Aaron Rodgers would do. But also on the other side, like there are executives at ESPN that are leaking information about his show to the public.
That's what's fascinating. You had last Friday Pat McAfee go off and single out one of the ESPN execs and say that he was trying to ruin his career.
Which is very true.
Which is amazing, though, that he went on ESPN to say that about basically their number 3 in charge.
Well, because it's so different when you've got a guy like Pat McAfee, a guy that's been in the NFL, the guy that literally tore up a contract that was way more than ESPN was offering just because he wanted to go to ESPN and have the outreach. He literally can do whatever he wants, and if ESPN gets so fed up with him and they kick him off, he'll be fine without ESPN. He doesn't need ESPN. Yeah, he might want it because he gets all this sideline access and is on game day and is doing all this stuff, but he doesn't need ESPN, and ESPN has not been in this position before where they're trying to tell somebody, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And that guy's saying, I don't want to do it that way, and I'm not gonna, and what are you going to do about it? I mean, it's really interesting, kind of the whole entity of Pat McAfee.
And then, by the way, this is the other interesting, their ESPN and the Kimmel Show are owned by ESPN. I mean, Disney.
By Disney, that's right. ABC and ESPN are both owned by Disney.
Man, that whole...
So that's another, like, struggle where you've got Kimmel and Pat McAfee both kind of, going to the same person.
Disney, like, aren't they kind of like one of those, I mean, I don't know this. I'm asking the question. Don't get all freaked out. But, like, in Disney, very, like, they really worried about their image.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
They don't think about, like, they don't want anything that's...
Sure, very, very,
they just want everybody to be like in the little, what's that little bitty land where you go to?
Disneyland.
No. It's like Tiny Town or something.
Yeah, something. I heard this. I heard somebody talking about it yesterday. This whole situation, and they said that ESPN for years, it's been get from Sports Center to network show, game, Sports Center. And that, just do it all without any controversy. And that's how you get by. Who cares what's happening on those shows? Let's just get from Sports Center to a game, back to Sports Center. That is the formula of ESPN. And now you've got Pat McAfee that is making headlines, does not want to stick to that same logic, and it's causing problems with ESPN.
It's because Pat McAfee is authentic to himself.
Yeah.
And the rest of people are basically full of it, and they're just going out there and they're playing a character.
Right.
So, you know what? I got to say, keep doing what you're doing. I like the authentic self.
I like Pat a lot.
I'm not like, I guess I like, it's not something that just grabs me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, the hot girl on NFL Network, NFL Live?
I do not. I don't watch a ton of NFL Network. I just recently got in a NFL Network, so I don't.
Laura something?
Laura Rutledge?
No, Laura Rutledge.
She's on ESPN.
Man, NFL Live. I'm Googling.
NFL Live is ESPN.
I know. I'm just saying. I got to see the host. NFL Live host. This is going to drive me crazy. Everybody out there is yelling at their TV because they know who she is. Mm-hmm. Laura Rutledge, is that her? Yeah, dude. How am I supposed to remember?
Comic. I just said her name. I mean,
it didn't sound right.
Huh?
Okay.
Laura Rutledge, that's her. Yes, John, the name I just told you 30 seconds ago.
You know what?
Everyone's yelling the same name at the radio.
You know, I just didn't believe you. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe that's a you problem.
I'm going to believe
that might be a me problem, honestly.
I'm going to believe you on the other side because you're going to give a good bet, and so am I. Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the Sports Time crew of Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus this Thursday from 3 to 6 at Sissy's Log Cabin on Poplar across from the Oak Court Mall. Sissy's is celebrating their official grand opening of its newest store on Thursday, January 11th. Grand opening events begin at 9:45 a.m. and an official ribbon cutting takes place at 10 a.m. The Sports Time crew will be there from 3 to 6, so stop by this one-of-a-kind jewelry store. That's this Thursday from 3 to 6 at Sissy's Log Cabin.
This holiday season, give the gift of Gould's with a Gould's gift card for someone you love. It's the perfect gift for everyone. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them in store and online. Just come to any Gould's and pick up a gift card or go to GouldSalonSpa.com to purchase online. That's GouldSalonSpa.com. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould's Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up, and if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus, and it's time for us to do a little bit of gambling, man. We got to do a little sports gambling. There is a lot of NBA action. There's some, there's some college basketball. I'm looking at the college slate. That's where I'm heading to. Memphis tonight plays University of Texas San Antonio. Hope you have your ESPN Plus subscription on because they're on the Plus. That's again at 7 o'clock. That is a big line. I can't touch 20. I know that the Roadrunners are terrible. Texas San Antonio is not any good. But the Tigers right now, it ain't like they're playing great basketball. They're winning. I can't lay the 20 points. I'm looked at a couple other games though that I do kind of like. I don't like Ole Miss against Florida either. Plus 2.5. Florida's pretty good, and I know that Ole Miss has played really good in their non-conference, but coming off that butt whipping against Tennessee, that makes me a little bit gun-shy. But I do like North Carolina on the road against NC State. North Carolina's a 3.5-point favorite on the road in Raleigh. NC State 3-0 in their conference. North Carolina 3-0 in their conference. But North Carolina just has them dudes. Like R.J. Davis, Armando Bacot. They've been playing together forever. I think they're more well-rounded. Harrison Ingram. I like North Carolina tonight to go out there. And I know Raleigh, they're going to have a great crowd. It's going to be pumped. These two teams don't like each other. But they just don't have the horses over at NC State. Tar Heels, they win big. For Bryant Dacus, I'm John Harden. Y'all get out there, make this world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Is your home still not warm enough or running out of hot water? Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, and we've got exciting news for you. Introducing